never really right time. Obtuse, getting in the fight, I might lose. Never really have the bout nice boobs. Hooping out to Waku 992. Picking up the mic to spike my views. Keep it kinda like a like haikus. I'ma take the night to write my news. What's the height I wanna strike my noose? We're never really gonna understand this, why I gotta write a symphony. I'm just making use of what I know, so I'm guessing I prefer to do it rhythmically. But I never really seem to get it right. The imperfectionist is just a kid in me. Yeah, I struggle as an artist, I'm the face of definition, woo, the epitome. And I've always had a problem hating on myself, stacking up my wealth to put it on a shelf and throw it down a well. And maybe I rebel to feed it to the devil, never would repel people that I seek to meet in evil hells. Reaching like a leash, I seek it to excel. A cheeky freak that isn't Greek up in the shell, but my mystique is just unique enough to sell. I'm a lyricist, not a rapper, broken so and not a musician. Not the fame or any glory, truly doesn't matter. Never really wanna get a hit of chatter, wanna make you smile, maybe.
All right, welcome to Wolf Fair Records, Wolf Talk Podcast. I am Wolf, and we have Steve-O Creep here today. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Who is that lovely lady sitting next to you?
This is a woman of many names. Some know her by Barbie, Barbie the Demon, Shawnice, Rochelle, Callie, whatever you know her by. It's kind of puts you in a place in her life. So if you know her by like Shawnice, Barbie the Demon, you're where you're supposed to be, which is current. And if you know her by things in the past, it's like, oh, okay, so we know where you come from, who you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
So we were talking backstage. I had to ask you about your mask.
Yeah, wanted to give a shout out to Doc Gruesome. I messaged him and was like, hey, I love your mask. Where'd you get it made? And he gave me the information from a man, Juan Sambil, from the Philippines, and his contact information. So I contacted him with my logo specifications and had it made and shipped. It actually arrived like 10 minutes before I had to leave for a show. So it was really cool debut, you know what I mean? Yeah, to get put together. It's kind of open for interpretation because my name, since I was a child, people like youth pastors or friends of family would always call me like Steve-O, which is a nickname. And the word creep is, the definition is to be like looked down upon in society. You're behaving as such, like
Right.
undesirable. So Steve-O creep is just kind of like a blanket statement. You may not like what you hear or see, but it's really not my issue because I literally told you in the name. You know what I mean? So if you
That's funny. So I reached out to you for that show that I have coming up January 3rd.
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet you in person.
For sure, yeah. Say it likewise.
It should be a fun show. Vortex always seems to bring in a lot of people, so
It's good people at the Vortex. We played many a show there. Really good people out there. Good venue. I love the venue. It's a very unique setup. I like that the middle of it connects two buildings and the picnic tables outside. It's where like the smoking section essentially. Everyone goes out there to hang out and I mean, like, but it's a good atmosphere out there. Love those people. Love that venue. You know what I mean?
So what got you started in music?
Ever since I was a kid, I've loved music. My first technical instrument that I had in the house, my stepfather brought me home a snare drum, just a solo snare drum, and years later, it was my first instrument was a Laguna Spider 3 guitar with a Line 6 amp, and I was in guitar lessons for about 3 months, and then I was like, that's good enough. I got it from here. And I self-taught myself everything else. So my brother is a good example, Isaiah Reese of the band From Nothing to Nowhere. He is musically inclined to a T. Music theory, he can read sheet music, tabs. I can barely read tabs. And I play and produce all my own stuff. So when I send him things that sound good, he's like, this sounds like audibly pleasing, but it makes no musical sense. It infuriates me. So that's our dichotomy. He's a professional, and I'm this sounds nice. You know what I mean?
So you said he's in a band as well?
Yeah, From Nothing to Nowhere. We started the band some years ago, and there were just a lot of creative differences, so I kind of just like left it to him. And we're still on good terms and everything like that, but it's very much his love child. He's a very pop punk oriented kind of guy. We come together. Our favorite group that we like in unison would be the Bunny the Bear, And I actually got to open for them in Cleveland. Got to meet Matt and his wife, very nice people, love him to death. I plan on working with him again in the future on an album next year. Yeah, he's like a musical savant. He can put shit together, but he's also a perfectionist. So when you ask him like, hey, can we move on to this next section or this bridge or this chorus? He's like, I want to tweak this verse. And it's been like a week of just making it perfect, which I credit him for because I'm not like that at all. My process is a draft album of beats. And then when I go to record on it, I'll make edits as I'm going. Like, I don't like this anymore. I like to live with my stuff for a while and then, you know, revisit it. She'll catch me at 3 a.m. in bed, like, what are you doing? I'm like, I had an idea. And then, yeah, I'll be playing shit. And, you know, it's definitely at this point in time for the love of it. I don't think being a musician is like every serious musician has a day job. You know what I mean? Because it's not so self-sustaining anymore. The opportunities are more and more slim at the same time, you know, because the whole label culture dying. No one's taking 360 deals that knows what music is anymore. No one's going to offer after, like someone like me who makes their own beats, who does their own marketing and promotion. I wouldn't sign the dotted line on a deal that says we want 50% of that. That's crazy. You know, like that's like,
they want too much out of it.
Yeah. If they were providing it, if I was someone like that just rapped or sang, it would be different. If I was incapable of making music myself or seeking out.
Now, it can be, you can, once you get to a certain stage, you are able to do, even as an independent artist, it can actually sustain yourself off living off just music. You just got to put a heck of a lot of shows out.
Yeah. That's the strategy I went with for a full year. I think it was 23 or 4, where I was. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be 24 because that's this year. It was last year. I did as many shows as possible. I did, I think, 25 shows total for the full year. And what I noticed was, yeah, it's good exposure and it's good, you know, to get in front of people. That's the best, in my opinion, that's the best thing to do is just talk face to face. Hey, did you like what you saw? Here's where you can find me. You know, that's guerrilla marketing. Just get out there and do it. But I found that opening for bigger artists in any opportunities you can it's a smart play, because especially if you have something, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for everybody. In fact, a lot of rap fans don't like what I do because it's a catalyst of, I'm using hip hop as a alternative vessel, you know?
Right.
And I understand that and I respect their opinion, but it's very rare that I play a show that I don't get comments passing by like, hey, that one song was fucking crazy, or like, I like this. You know, I have something for everyone. You just have to stick around for a 15-minute set and see what it is. You know what I mean?
Want to plant some microphones in the crowd so that we can hear the reactions
to
the things that you say,
sure.
Because being in the crowd, I hear some crazy reactions to the things that he says
I bet.
on stage.
It's a give and take, but it's also, again, it's for the love of it. You know, I don't think, even if there was some embargo on making money off of music, I don't think that I could stop making it. You know, there's like very few things that keep me mentally all right, and it's like my wife, the Xbox, lifting, and making music. And these are all, like, you treat them as not distractions, but like, I can put myself into those things for a minute. I can remove myself from myself and just be something else for a while, and that's important to me.
So I will be streaming that event live. All my events I stream live, so that'll be fun.
Absolutely, yeah, we're looking forward to it. I'm very
like, every show I put together, I always stream it live. And I know, like, I don't know if you heard of VetFest.
No, I have not. Is it in Ohio?
Yeah, it's up in Cleveland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't done a ton. I played what venue in Cleveland? The Odeon. I opened for DJ Paul. November of either last year or the year before. and then I guess it got shut down or something like that. I'm not too sure.
Oh wow.
But cool crowd out there. Like Cleveland, always.
But yeah, the Vet Fest was pretty dope.
No, we're looking forward to coming out and checking everything out, bringing our people. We invite at least 30 to 50 people every show that we have, and
Awesome. And then they bring somebody else, and
yeah, they
Yeah.
bring a friend. They don't want to go out with a boyfriend or a friend or whatever. That's fine. I like to run as much promotion. Like my social media strategy is kind of like vetting out. it's kind of absurd, but vetting out like the week, as I call it, because I'll share really fucked up memes, like just really dark humor stuff, and then after 3 of those, I'll post an entire like 12-page song previews and here's my albums coming up, and then back to memes. And it's like, damn, this guy's like either manic or like, but he does music, and, So I've gotten that comment a couple of times. I was at a Sheetz gas station in my hometown of East Liverpool, and he was like, "Are you so and so's friend on Instagram? You post all the time?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Dude, you post some fucked up shit, but that's why I followed you." I was like, "Cool, thank you." Like, I appreciate that.
that's funny.
So,
Yeah, it was just funny because I put a little message out there on the community on Facebook, and you were one of the recommendations.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yes,
recommended it? Is it?
I don't remember. It was a while
That's
ago.
crazy. That's wild. That's okay. Yeah, I'm glad that I get that a lot. I work with a promoter by the name of Chris Stark, and love that guy. He's always so nice to me. And but he's who got me on the Ouija Mac show, and
I think that name sounds familiar. That might have been him.
You may know him. He's pretty popping in the state of Ohio. But he said the same thing as I came recommended by people to work with. I was like, that's wild. I don't think I'm used to being liked. It's something I have to get used to.
So if you want to look up some of the other people that are going to be performing, is ANBM. It's like AN period B period M period.
Okay.
Problem Child. He's from Cleveland. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No, I don't think I have.
I didn't. I actually work with him at my job factory.
Okay.
Who is the other one? You, and I'm still looking for one more. So, if you know of anybody,
is it exclusive to like bands or solo artists, or is anyone able to?
No, I mean anybody could do. I was just trying to keep it to the rap genre because that's what most of the artists are.
Fair. That's fair.
Go ahead.
2 good bands that I know of that I've worked with personally. Obviously, my brother's band. That, like I said, the pop punk people that they have a really good rap crowd interactions, and Only the Lucky Ones Die. My friend Jerry Ramirez and Earl Bennett are in it, and they are really good stage presence, really good powerhouse metal band. I don't know. I worked with Mike Wendell on the Scenes Collide shows a couple of times, and those are my favorite types of shows because it's bringing those cultures together, the rap and metal, and those fans finding out that, oh, this is like we're coming to this show for the same fucking reason. It's just rage.
Right.
I mean, like, and I think it works beautifully together. Personally, it's just my opinion, but yeah, I can definitely see those being good picks, but also, another hard hitting rap artist. I mean, like, I come unapologetic. I open every show. My very first song I play is "Fuck the Police," which is it's there, and I asked the crowd to say it. Like,
and the Vortex does it perfect.
If you're not,
yeah,
shout out to Shambo. We love that guy. I always lead with like, if you're not a narc, say "Fuck the police," and everyone screams, "Oh, I don't want to be left out." You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I'm excited for the show. I'm very excited to see who it brings out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are your interests in music?
Well, I would say as far as genres go, I don't really have a. The only thing I can't listen to consistently is like country music, and that's not to say acoustic music. I don't know if you're familiar with Jason Molina or Songs Ohio. He's from Ohio. He's deceased. He was an acoustic. People called him country rock, but he played guitar and sang, and he was just like. I think he was the only artist in the lifespan of Ohio that understood sadness, and he put that into music, and that's what killed him. I believe that. Like he drank himself to death. If you listen to his music, I mean, it's all just signs of someone who has no idea what to do, and but it's beautiful. It's something about understanding that, and being brave enough to put that out there for other people is that I love that stuff. You know, I respect it to a T. I would love to do an acoustic album if I get brave enough. But yeah, I don't. As long as you have passion and drive behind it, I think that it can be good music. If you're not just trying to make, hey, this is going to do numbers or this is going to appease, like whatever. But that's just me. I'm kind of a narrow-minded music fan, I guess. It has to be. I'm guilty of listening to popular shit. I listen to fucking Trippie Redd and Lil Yachty and all kinds of people, really. But I come from a metal background. I was in several bands growing up, and I had a very metal genre idea of what music had to be.
So you're like a metal rap then?
In a way, yeah. I do metal rap songs, like Ghost Main style songs from time to time, and you can always hear, even in my regular rap songs, there will 9 times out of 10 be like screaming ad libs in the back, because I'm like, this line didn't. It sounded good, but I want people to get it for what it is, and it's So I do a lot of I haven't done it yet because I have anxiety, but I do have an idea for like a reel or like a short video where she's doing her makeup and she's like trying to do a makeup tutorial, but I'm just screaming in the closet at my microphone the entire time, just to let her, to let the public see what she has to live with.
Into my daily life.
Right. Yeah. So it's stuff like that.
This comes to the drive-through. This comes into the pizza shop. Like, this is out in the real world.
I always make sure to speak in a very like proper demeanor when I'm
and have the credit card ready.
So they don't think I'm robbing them, because we scared. Who was it? Wendy's or a McDonald's employee?
McDonald's employee. He screamed so loud. He ran to the other side of the store. All the other employees came running to see what was wrong. But then out, there were these little kids whose father worked at a haunted house. So she just thought they were daddy's friend.
Right.
Hi, monster.
Like
do you
a
like my
5-year-old.
pretty dress?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's very pretty. I looked at her mother. You can't really see where I'm looking in this thing, but I like snapshot it to her mom. I was like, why is this normal? She's like, oh, her dad works at a haunted house. Like, oh, cool. All right. So
we were still recording from the drive-thru. Right. We just happened to catch her, and it was perfect. Her mom was like, we love it. Use it.
Making sure that I wasn't like her sleep paralysis deal or some shit,
Right?
That was scaring the fuck out of me. But yeah, music is my life. And in the daytime, like my trade right now is a cook, but I've done everything under the sun. I've worked security. I've been a laborer. I've worked on river boats. I'm a father. This is something that I want to pay the bills with eventually, which is why I'm sticking with it. And I couldn't do it without the support of like the messages I get that are just from, I have to decode on Google Translate from like Africa or Japan,
right?
Like the niche that I fit into, and people like my wife and our friends in Ohio who are like, hey man, just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't do it without just being told I can, So
right. Trust me, it's hard doing something. I mean, look at me. I've been doing this for 7 years and hardly made any money out of it.
Right.
Like, and I mean, nothing that I could obviously pay everything, all my bills and stuff. One day, as long as I keep going, yes, I do believe I can. But what I'm doing is kind of a new thing. It's a very unique thing that what I'm doing because nobody does it.
Right.
Like I'm actually creating events. I'm gathering my own artists. I'm, hosting the event. I'm going live with the event, and I plug up if the sound guy knows what he's doing.
Right.
I plug into the mixer soundboard, and I actually with one of those XRL cables, I actually plug straight into to my camera to the mixer. So that way when I go live, the sound is exactly how it's supposed when it comes out of the out of the speakers. However, if like I said, if the sound guy knows what he's doing.
Right.
Vortex is amazing.
Yeah.
You'll be impressed for sure.
Hopefully Shambo's working the day that you have the show booked. In fact, I'll message whoever and try and make sure, because we love seeing that guy. And, I didn't realize, I watched a playback of my song Fuck the Police live, and I didn't realize for multiple shows he had been putting red and blue lights on stage for me. And like strobe and shit. Like he knows I like the color red and strobes and all that, so he just blends that in for that song because it's atmospheric. Like, yeah, you adding that without me asking is like just a credit to your love for it. You know what I mean? This would fit really well, and he just does it. I think every venue needs a Shambo. Unfortunately, not all of them have one.
So yeah, that's what I got going on. I like to get there a little earlier to do a couple test runs
For
to
sure.
make sure the sound works properly. Because I did a Vet Fest, and it took an hour for the sound guy to tell me, well, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with cameras. I've never worked with that. Okay, so you're telling me that I could have turned this off at the beginning if you would just told me that you didn't know what you're doing and use my backup, because my camera, which I have the newest iPhone, it actually records decent quality sound.
Yeah.
Because you know how most of the time you go to record a band and stuff like that, and it's all distorted and you can't really hear very well.
Right.
If you go to my recordings on my face, I mean, it sounds pretty darn good. So I mean, it's my backup if something happens to this, the streaming.
Gotcha.
So I was so mad because I could have done something with the other band's performance. I could have done something with it. I can't do anything with it now because the sound was cutting in and out and you could not hear it. I was so mad. I was like, couldn't you tell me this from the beginning?
Right. It is unfortunate. I think it's a form of embarrassment for that person to be like, oh, like, I don't know what I'm doing. But like for me, I would never be in the position to be like, oh, I'll just do it until they ask again. Like, I tell you straight, I don't know what this is or how to do this, but that's honesty. Yeah.
I was so I mean, we try to do everything to the camera, trying to get all the settings properly, and it's hard to do, especially when you're, with bands performing. You have to go like far away, and you have to put the phone to your ear and make sure the live stream is okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
The travel is, especially for bands, I feel bad because I show up with either a USB or a Dropbox phone file to send to someone, and bands have to show up and unload stage set.
Oh yeah. In that whole evening, I don't know who was the sound guy, but obviously some people, I mean, all the bands were upset with the sound.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so it was like a universal.
It wasn't just a me thing.
God.
But it was just frustrating because I'm trying to show people what I do, because I feel eventually once bands start seeing what I'm doing, they'll be like, hey, could you do my show? I'll pay you $150.
Right, for sure.
So I think eventually I'll start, like I said, this is so new with what I'm doing and nobody else does it. I think eventually I'll be able to start streaming everything live.
Yeah, and it's a good drive to have. Like, you're not just streaming a live show, you're trying to make sure that it comes through with the best quality you can provide. That's
right.
People do generally.
Because there's so many people, like grandmothers, even the family members that can't come out of state to come see you perform.
Yeah.
Once you come to Ohio and contact me, and I could get you into a venue or whatnot. So if you want to, show your grandmother and back home on how you perform, and you want to have have her see a show, then you can, because you can just go to my website.
I had Mima blocked from it, but everyone else can see.
Right. And my Mima sees me like once a year if she's lucky, and she'll fight me if she hears me swearing on stage and spitting liquor into young ladies' mouths and shit. She'll beat my ass.
She's not gonna make you any more Popeyes.
Right. I won't get any more Popeyes. That'd be a tragedy. But I hear what you're saying for sure. I think.
But I actually came up with this at COVID.
Really?
When COVID came out 2 years ago, when everybody was taking the toilet paper,
Yeah.
I was actually working at Dollar General, and I was like, what can I do as a job that, obviously at the time I was still interviewing artists. I've interviewed over 800 artists in the last seven years. And I was like, what could I do to make money? And I was like, that's what I came up with.
That's cool.
No, it's definitely admirable. It shows that you as a person have a love for music as well, and seeing.
I do, all genres. I love music. I love hearing it. I love being around it.
No, and people, like, the scene needs that. Like the music scene in any city, any state needs people who love the dream of music. You know what I mean? That's something that is important.
Now, my event that I hosted, my first event last year, I kind of went the wrong way about it, but I did learn my lesson. But this upcoming year, like, I do small, like I'm doing 2 small ones. Obviously, the first one's January 3rd. And then the big one I have in the summertime, it's actually called Wolfapalooza.
Okay.
I love that.
It's all genres. It's not just one genre. It's like all genres, and I have like 8 or 9 bands.
Okay. Is it like a campsite, or is it like are you gonna do like a concert?
No, I'm holding it at a venue.
Okay.
I'm doing all venues until I get big enough to where if I fork out a big amount of money, then I will actually make it back.
For sure. No, absolutely. That's something that, like, me myself, I've never put on my own show as of yet, but I have an artist that I'm trying to work with. He's a bit bigger than me as far as like Spotify and YouTube numbers. He's got like a following, and I was like, what would you need to come play a show in Ohio? And he told me very professionally, he was like, yeah, I just need my travel paid for, my lodging, and $250 the night of the show. So my first thought is, okay, it's my idea, so I'll get him a plane ticket and pay for his lodging, but then I'll get artists that I know want to open and be like, hey, it's a $50 slot, and I'll let you keep all your ticket money. You can sell 5 tickets at $10 and make your $50 back.
Right.
And, I was like, I'm not really in it to like scam people, because I played shows where it's like $2 for me every $15 ticket I sell. It's fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's wild. But it's, I definitely see what you mean. It's a touch and go as far as like what cities come out to support, what venues are well known for what, you know what I mean? And
right.
What artists can pull crowds. I confidently say that I can try and bring between 10 and 20 people per show. We invite way more than that, but everyone has a life and everyone has this and that. But it's about who comes to support and brings their energy and their people with them. It's
right.
very important to who you fill the building with first.
Oh yeah. And even another way I looked at it, depending on the venue itself brings its own people.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's another reason I went with the idea of hosting it at a venue, because the venue has its normal people that come every weekend. Doesn't matter who's playing, they just want to go to the bar because that's their favorite bar.
Yeah.
So they have their crowd just as much as the artists do.
It's important to have a following at both. If an artist can bring 10 people and the venue can bring 10 people, that's already 20. And how many
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel you absolutely.
All right, so What do you got going on in 2025?
Just last night, I posted the release date for my next album, God Died in Ohio, for my birthday, my 32nd birthday, February 7th, 2025.
Okay.
My friend and joke baby mom, it's a stage thing we do, Seven Stowe and myself have our second album coming out together called Toxic Twosome. That will be probably maybe the new year. If I can swing it, I would like to get it out. It's a very, very toxic love trap R&B. Like Sev, they bring such a melodic and seductive, like, you know, mistake your bitch type vibe. And I'm a fucking grimy kid from East Liverpool, so I talk about similar veins, just in a more rugged tone for the average rap listener.
Right.
So, really good stuff. On Backstage Pass is probably my favorite. So I did all the beats for this one. And yeah, I think Backstage Passes is going to be our single that comes out hopefully in the near future. But I have 4 albums, 3 demoed, 4 produced. And at this point in time, how you were saying, like, it's touch and go and you're getting your footing with marketing and promoting, I'm doing the same thing with albums. I'm getting the work done first, seeing what works for a release strategy per album, putting the different amounts of money behind it, Spotify campaigns and stuff like that.
Right.
Seeing what garners me more, you know what I mean, and just touch and go with that. Getting more serious about features on the albums and whatnot, trying to get people who have followings and obviously paying them for their time and whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't do any of this. I would be wrong as fuck for not mentioning my brother from another coffin, 85 Sick. He's from the South. It's 85 SICC. He has become my best friend over years of working on music together. We met on a fan page for a rapper we both like. And we were both like, hey, we rap. I was like, yeah, but I can't mix. And he's like, oh, I mix. And ever since then, he's the only person that is allowed to mix my music. And
that's awesome.
So it's, yeah, I love that guy to death. He also has an album out, Morgue Night. It's his most recent one. He's on like 3 or 4 albums a year at this point. He's a workhorse. That's all he does. So, but yeah, that's from us, from our perspective. Where I'm getting more merch oriented. Shawnice is helping me market more. She's really good. What would you call it? Like a promoter, essentially, or like an organizer almost.
Sort of.
You know, she's very good at just like talking to businesses and getting collaborations, deals, and shit like that. You know what I mean? Let me look at her. You know what I mean? If I walk in, they're gonna be like, get this fucking crack fiend out of my store. And if she walks in, we'll talk to this person. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so we just want to take it as responsibly as we can. Like I said, I messaged you the other day and I was like, yeah, I'm in the hospital for this semi-truck wreck. That kind of put us back a little bit with car repairs. Thankfully, I'm fine as far as the x-rays say. It's just muscle related. I'm really tense, but
right.
Nothing insanely severe. So that's
cool. That's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my car still runs, so I'll be at the shows.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'll have to come out to Wolfapalooza just to check out the event because it'll be fun. I try to invite as many people as I can. I mean, we got to support each other. Independent artists they struggle. You know, you're struggling, we're struggling. But if we pull together as a family and get to know each other, then it's easier to go a lot further.
Absolutely. And even if I'm not slated like as an act on Wolfapalooza, I'll just slide out. We'll do content. We'll film videos and pass out merch and invite people. You know, everyone likes a festival. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah, I might even let people come out and put up a table just to sell their stuff, even though if they're not performing.
Right. You know what I mean? They garner attention. You know.
Right.
But yeah, it's.
I don't know. Did you ever hear of the Big Dog in Ravenna?
Yes, I used to live right next to it.
I'm thinking about holding that venue there, that Wolfapalooza there, because we could do a cornhole tournament. Because obviously the bar does that. since it's an all-day event, because they have that yard in the back where they put stages and stuff. So I was thinking maybe we could do something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Oh, for sure. That would be nasty.
Do you know anything about the Outpost?
Never been there as far as.
I feel like that would be a great venue for that too. They have 2 stages indoors. They have an outdoor stage. They've got indoor and outdoor bars. It's really nice.
Really?
Yeah. It's a Kent, Ohio venue.
Yeah, I know where it's at. I just
Yeah.
never been there.
If you presented that idea to them for like the festival, they've done many a festival there. They're very like veteran, you know what I mean? They're good at that shit. So I would
They've
say
got a little fire pit out back, so even when it
Yeah.
gets dark and cold, you can still enjoy yourself out there. It's really nice.
That sounds like a winner to me.
Right. I would definitely contact them, and we shout out to the his name always
Jeremy.
security at the door is like one of my best dogs, bro. First time we met, he's like, "You got anything on you?" I was like, "You fucking seen me, man? I don't want to fight you. No, my pockets are empty." Ever since we've been amazing friends. He's a good dude. I gotta get him a shirt and a sticker soon. But yeah, no, we're looking forward to like you said, meeting in person, coming out to the shows. It excites me to see someone excited for music in general. So.
Well, the main purpose of what I'm doing is to get people out there faster.
Right.
Because, you get the record labels that are putting all these people out quick. I mean, look at Jelly Roll. I mean, he just sang at a couple venues, and then he got a music deal, and there he is, huge. So it's like, not that I'm dissing it, but some people just want to make their own money and don't want to have to pay anybody back.
A lot of people as well with Jelly Roll, as a specific reference or a situation, he started in the Juggalo scene. And the first album I heard him on was the Twisted Insane album. I was like, "Who is this guy?" And I looked him up. I was like, "Oh shit, he's like a country rapper. Cool." But like, everyone's beginnings should be. And I think character-wise, he's a good dude, but yeah, like he definitely paid his dues, I think, and it's cool.
Well, absolutely, but because everybody doesn't make it, and I don't think that's fair. Because there's so many artists out there that are not heard.
I think everyone deserves a chance to be heard and to, like to see if they're it right now. My biggest problem with independent artists, especially in Ohio, like a lot of them, like you're saying, are amazing. They're dope. They have such talent. They have such a vibe. You know what I mean? But the guys that I run into, they're doing the same shit over and over again, and then they get bitter and they quit. Like you have to evolve. Like, if you listen to my first album, my first 3 albums, they were produced on my iPhone, so the production quality is not great. I upgraded to an actual studio in my house. So from album 4 and on, it's like, oh, the beats are sounding better. His voice is sounding better. Like, you have to do things to improve yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch up to the event and then after. So
For sure.
But yeah, I just wanted to get you on for an interview. Hopefully everybody comes out to the show, the Vortex. It's January 3rd, and we'll have a good time.
If they don't come out, I will probably maybe abduct 2 or 3 of them. So be all right. You see me at your window and it's the 3rd of January, you know what the fuck is up. Just get in the car. You know what I mean?
Just get in the car.
But yeah, thank you very much for having us and for everything that you're doing for artists is very admirable, and I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So one last thing, where can everybody find your stuff?
Anywhere you type in Steve O'Cree on a streaming service or a digital store, you will find me. I'm through DistroKid, so anything that plays music digitally, I'm there. Instagram is my primary account for Steve O'Cree. It's linked to my Facebook, which is also Steve O'Cree. There's only one of me. There's some guy named Steve the Creep. I've seen him around, but he has like one song. He's from like New York or something. I don't know. Nothing against the guy, but it's Steve O, not the. So I mean, that's the one you're looking for. Look for the mask. Look for probably my wife's ass and fishnets or something absurd. Yo, that's me. That's this guy.
Well, you just made her red, so I mean.
And all my friends though, there's a lot of content.
We do not discriminate. We don't discriminate against booty meat out here, baby. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. We'll definitely keep in touch. And I think we're gonna have a good show.
I think so too.
All right. Thank you for having us.
All right. You have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye.